Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about taking apart the Shinai. Taking apart the Shinai is very important to do on a regular basis so you avoid splinters and cracks, and so you don't hurt yourself, or more importantly, you do not hurt your fellow Kenshi. Now, we're going to start with taking off the tsubadome, which is the little rubber stopper here, and then we're going to take off the tsuba itself. We grasp it here, remove this, and this easily slides off, and you can put it aside for now. This is called the tsuru, which is the string that runs from the tsuka, which is the hand guard, or excuse me, the hand cover, and goes all the way up, and this is called a nakayui. This is a little leather piece that holds the tsuru together with the four slats of the Shinai. So we're going to take apart that. You just want to have a pair of pliers here, and it comes apart very easily, and we'll show how to tie later on. Let's remove this here. Pull that out. Now people have different methods of taking apart their Shinai. This is not to represent the best method. It's simply the method that I was taught and that works for me. So ask your sensei and always find your own method, or the method that he or she recommends. And we're going to remove the cap here. Actually, we're going to start down here, and we're going to move this part. Now this is a little tricky because always you want to make... So what we want to do is remove this tsuru from the tsuka right here, and again we always want to make sure it's very tight, and again it's a little tricky to get loose sometimes because I don't know about you, but I like mine very tight and secure so it doesn't go flying off or come apart. Unfortunately, taking it apart is a little bit more tricky, so we're going to take that off. And now you'll notice some Shinai have this little piece right here, and some Shinai do not. It really all depends on the style and how you choose. So we remove this cap here, and as you see, this cap has a little piece that fits in the four slats that keeps it together. So we remove that, put that aside for now, and we're going to go back to the tsuka, and we're just going to slide this off here like so. And put that aside. Now we have four slats, and you'll notice there's a little metal piece in here. And this little metal piece helps to keep it together. Now personally, when I take it apart for the first time, I remove this metal piece and I don't use it. Other people, they still want to use it. So now we have four Shinai slats. And next, we're going to sand them. So what we want to do at this point is we want to get our sandpaper. Got a little sanding block here, and I usually give about 100 or so strokes per edge so that we remove any splinters or any cracks, and you want to make sure you inspect it very well to make sure there are no splinters or cracks. And we'll do that about... Okay, now that we have sanded our Shinai slats, what we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and reassemble the Shinai. So we take our four pieces, and as you'll notice, they have a little bit of bevel right in here. We want to line them up, and some people believe it's important to rotate the slats. I am a believer of that. Other people want it to be exactly how it came. So we kind of fit them together here, make sure that they're all good to go. Make sure it's level. Okay? And at this point, we want to take our tsuka, and this part facing upward, that's going to be the front part, and we're going to slide the tsuka back on, make sure it's nice and tight at that point. Now we're going to take our cap, we're going to put that back on. Okay. Put the cap on back here. And we're going to to bring the nakayui all the way back, and we're going to put it through this hole here. Okay. And we're going to kind of lift this up, pull it back down. Now there are many ways to do this. In fact, I think I'm going to do this another way here. We're going to put this through the hole, which again, a little bit tricky. I'm going to pull this back down here. Then I'm going to put it through the hole here. Okay, so now that we have run our tsuru down through the tsuka and threaded it here, now comes the part where you need a little bit of strength. We want to pull this down very tight. Very tight. Almost like a guitar string. Okay? We're going to hold this here with our thumb, and we're going to take this part and pull it back. Get out of the way. Make sure it's very, very tight. Okay? And now we're going to start threading it up and over through and kind of wrap it around. Now, the way that I was taught is that every fourth time you wrap it around, you should place it through the tsuka holder. Sorry, I don't know the name of this. All you technical guys out there can correct me. Okay, and we just stick the pliers here, right through the hole. Okay, and we're going to wrap that around, pinch it off, pull it through. Okay, make sure this is nice and level, and continue our threading through here, and keep doing that until you have about maybe 4 inches of string left. And we'll do this one more time. Stick that through. Okay, so now that we have attached the nakayui and we've attached the tsuka and tied it back and it's nice and tight, this is the last part, and this is quite controversial. To wax or to oil? Well, definitely you should use some type of oil, preferably some oil that your sensei recommends. However, my sensei recommends wax, and some people say that it's a good thing, some people say that it's a bad thing, other people are indifferent. And I found that it works really well for me. So whatever works for you, whenever your sensei says is best, is probably what you should use. So we'll take, this is neutral shoe polish here, and we just take a little bit of this on a rag, and we rub it on the Shinai. Try not to get it onto the tsuru or the nakayui because it gets slick. And what I usually do is I focus on the underside of the Shinai where it's going to be hitting the opponent, and I focus on the sides here where you can use the bulge here in the Shinai to parry. So we'll just rub that on. Doesn't take a lot, just a little bit. Then we take the tsuba, put it back on, put the tsuba domain back on, and now we have reassembled our Shinai and we're ready to go. So, good luck. Just one last note. I've only been studying Kendo for about 3.5 years, so I'm very much a beginner. So if I've made any mistakes or omissions, which I'm sure I have, I leave it to you, more advanced Kenshi, to point them out in your comments. So thank you very much, and that's disassembling and reassembling the Shinai.